First time I've seen both these players. It's good to see them on the glass court. Joining me, we've got Aisling Blake once again. She'll be here for the whole of today, as long as she behaves herself.
Best behaviour.
So you've got some interesting stuff to tell us out there, Aisling.
Well, I certainly do. Well, first up, we're not seeing Evan Williams on the court today. He played against Scotland yesterday. He lost out 3-1. He's the number 3 string. So LWAMBA CHILESHE is taking his place for New Zealand. But when I was looking at the stats there, it turns out not New Zealand born. He was born in Zambia, actually, LWAMBA, and now ranked at 158 in the world. He's played a few tournaments over here in America, but mostly residing in New Zealand. Most recently played the Cleveland Skating Open, actually losing out to Nick Sackvey, who we will see later playing for Scotland in the second round there. Young guy, only 20 years of age.
Well, that's great. It's exciting. Some very, very good Zambian players in the past. There's a real squash buzz down there from through the kind of late 70s and 80s. And I remember playing against, obviously I wasn't playing back then, but Patrick Chifunda, who's fantastic. And then you've had Masambo Salisho over in England with Ernest Chisenga, Lewis Masonda. There was a load of really good Zambian players. And quite a few moved to South Africa. That's where Patrick Chifunda, he did his university there. And so a lot of the Zambian squash players would do their university in South Africa and play in South Africa. So in the old, as we were talking, we both used to play the Jarvis Cup. And a lot of the Zambian boys would be playing in that.
Getting some final words there from Glenn Wilson. Meanwhile, over on court 8, well, you saw that, the end of that. That is Ireland's hopes for landing in the top 8 dashed, but Scotland safely secured. But next up on this court, Steve Richardson up against Rory Stewart. Steve Richardson, of course, we've talked about many times as the youthful 47-year-old playing in this tournament.
Best of 5 games. Love all. Down. Hand out. One love.
On paper, we are looking at the possible victor serving here, because CHILESHE has a huge, there's a huge difference in ranking here. Brandon Tan is coming in not so hot at 601 in the world to CHILESHE's 158. But as we all know, that's never done and dusted. Squash on paper never actually wins in practice, or is very difficult to win in practice.
To all.
And judging by the tenacity of his number 1 Singaporean teammate, we could be in for somewhat of a treat here.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a decent clash here. I'm watching Lwamba very closely. I feel that 20 years of age, he's set. He looks good athletically.
Yes, like.
You know, following the footsteps of Paul Cole. And it's important for, hugely important for New Zealand squash. You also got to remember their world teams. The world teams in 2 years' time will be in New Zealand.
Down.
So book your ticket now.
There you go. Whereabouts will it be?
Auckland.
Oh, nice.
Which is the capital. And also enjoying the hairstyle here of Lwamba. I think it's got a lot of time for that. It's got a good look going.
Down.
Little flat racket on that
Hand
drop.
out. 3-4.
Other than that, right idea, just the execution.
Down. Hand out. 5-3. Stroke to New Zealand. 6-3.
Another nice angle on that backhand drop. Played
box.
Sublimely from the youngster from
7-3.
Christchurch. Or rather residing in Christchurch now.
Stroke to Singapore. Hand out. 4-7. Down. 5-7. Six, 7.
Turning into a decent match, this one.
Yeah,
Seven
Chileshe has
all.
just lost his length, I feel, a bit. He's managed to get the ball past the back of the service box just twice in that rally. And this court, while a glass court, still has a little bit of life on it.
Head up. Ball's good. Hand out. 8-7. Down. 9-7.
It's nice play, really nice play. Sinking his
10-7,
knees,
game ball.
taking his time
Right
over,
box.
cutting. There you go. Really nice. Good technique on that one. 3 game balls for the Kiwi number 3.
Down.
Closing it out very
11-7,
nicely.
game to New Zealand. New Zealand leads 1 game to love. Fault. Hand out. 1 love.
Oh my goodness, he's going to be fine for that. Just served down.
Stroke to New Zealand. Hand out. 1 all. Hand out, 2-1. Thank you. Hand out, 2-all. Down.
Yeah, a bit more length from Chileshe. He's getting rewarded for it. I've seen that a few times in this tournament. The really good length. Get a small bit of cut on the ball and it's fading away into the back corners. The only thing, Joey, that I feel he could perhaps do if he's lifting the ball from forehand to backhand corner, you always surely want to be following up for a volley on that shot.
Yeah, definitely. The 1-2.
The 1-2.
Right box, 4-2. Five, 2. Left box. Down. Hand out, 3-5. Not up. 4-5.
Well, the Singaporean number 3 is not going away. Chileshe is going to have to really show some decent discipline here. And it looks like he's actually getting better as it goes on. He's getting more familiar to the glass court, more familiar to his opponent's style. And that is a shocker. Misjudged that one, Aisling.
5-all.
Certainly did.
Right box. Down. Hand out, 6-5. Yes, light. 6-5. 7-5.
Well, they both had 2 clangers. At least they can have a bit of a laugh about it. If it was on court with the French general, there'd be no laughing.
Certainly would not. We saw his mood yesterday when Gregor Marsh went over the 30-minute mark in the games.
6-7.
He was furious.
Fuming.
Absolutely fuming.
It's a nice little hold.
Hand out.
Chileshe.
8-6. Yes, light. 8-6.
Good to see him use the front of the court.
9-6.
Seems to be a running theme that as the game goes along, towards the end of it, Chileshe's a bit more inclined to take it in short. Definitely is the appearance of more of a traditional game, getting the length. But there's a few opportunities here that he could just take that volley straight in.
10-6, game ball.
Oh!
11-6, game to New Zealand.
Way to finish.
New Zealand leads 2 games to love. One love.
He's up on that fairly quickly. Poor choice of counter drop into the same corner.
Down. 2 love. Down. 3 love. Head up. 4 love. Yes, let. 4 love.
It's good.
5
Good
love.
from the young Kiwi, who apparently has just moved to Manchester for 3 months.
Yeah, we're able to get a little bit of inside information by a reasonably reliable source.
6 love.
He's starting to go through now, looking more confident. It's going to be good for his squash there. As we're talking about, it's all very relevant. See, what I talked to you about these players, you know, moving out to places, it's all becoming very relevant.
Exactly, yeah. And let's hope he stays in one place forever.
Oh, I'll tell you what, if he ends up going, travelling from Manchester to somewhere like Sheffield, then there'll be hell to pay. It's got to stay in Manchester forever.
I'll tell you what the difficult thing, and he's very lucky because he has Paul Cole over on this side of the world.
I know the connection with Manchester. Sorry, I'm really interested in what you've got to say, but it's just because I'm talking about the Zambian players. There would be a Zambian connection there. I'm sure it's because of Masambo Salisho.
Ah, okay.
Yep. Sorry, go on, Aisling. You were going to say something really profound.
Well, if you're 20 and you're from all the way across the world in New Zealand, it's very difficult to know where to go, to know where to land. But to have someone like Paul Cole in your corner and giving you advice on such matters, I'd say, is just immeasurable. Anyway, he's fairly rattled through the gears here. He takes it on the first match ball, gets the bagel.
11-6, 11-7, 11-6, 11 love.
Well, he's very, very lean. He could eat a few bagels.